Now, what I want to talk about, since we have time, not really, knowing what the market's going to do at this current moment, um, it's just talk about how the strategy I use, how it actually changed my life, and trading. When I started off my venture into trading, okay. Of course, when I first started, I didn't have any particular strategy, guys. I was just trying to find a way and look at something that could help me in trading. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Future Trading with Mike, and today, as always, I'm looking at the Emini S&P 500 futures to see if we can possibly catch a few trades. And this is your first time watching one of the videos, guys. As I always state, I'm a live, pretty much price action trader. I trade the Emini S&P 500 futures just about every day. If you look at my channel, I have tons of videos where I'm trading this particular market. So this is my recorded session. And if you're already subscribed to the channel, thank you for subscribing. If this is your first time, please, watch the content. If you like the content, you're looking to follow someone that live day trades the ES, which is the Emini S&P 500 futures. You found the right person, guys, because I discuss and talk about my strategy and how I trade this particular market. Not this particular market, but you can use the same strategy to trade any particular market because it's nothing, it's nothing significant about the actual strategy. It's simple as long as you follow the rules to trading each and every day when you're trading. So if you don't mind, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit that little or click on that little bell icon, which is the post notification that alerts you each time I drop a video. Right now, if we look at, I always like to start off by looking at the prior day session, and you saw yesterday which was the 12th of January, we just kind of moved sideways. We did make a high right here, and we kind of chop it to the side. So the market right now is trading within yesterday's trading range. We have a low sitting out here at 46.90, actually 46.94, 46.95, and then the high up here at 47.40. Okay. Now the all-time high, I believe, at this current moment is 48.08. Okay. So the market is zigzagging right now, putting volume in this area, and I am not trading right now because this is, because we're just moving sideways at this particular point. Let's see here. Just looking to see what the market's doing. Now this right here is an area right here. So when the market pushed up, started swinging to the upside here, pulled back, well, actually broke lower. It broke to this little low right here. So, meaning it broke structure right here. So this is a pullback to an area of supply. So yes, the price did bounce at the beginning or opening of the market this morning and bounced in this area, rejected and pulled lower, but just kind of moving sideways. So we need to be careful to see if prices may be trying to break to the upside on this area here. If it does, then which this is resistance now. Resistance will turn and become support for us. So that's pretty much it with that. Okay, that's my take on looking at the market as of right now. Now, what I want to talk about, since we have time, not really, knowing what the market's going to do at this current moment, it's just talk about how the strategy I use, how it actually changed my life and trading when I started off my venture into trading. Okay, of course, when I first started, I didn't have any particular strategy, guys. I was just trying to find a way and look at something that could help me in trading. But first and foremost, you want to find out, you want to understand and learn the fundamentals to trade in, and then, if it's the technicals. So you got to figure all that out. The homework piece, the research piece, understanding the fundamentals of trading. There's a lot that goes into that. You got to understand how the markets move, who drive the markets. So that's a big piece. And as retail traders, like most of us, unless you are have loads of money, you're not doing too much of pushing and pulling the market. The institutions are the big players that inject hundreds of millions of dollars to the market each day. Okay, so my particular strategy and what I use, how it actually changed my life and impacted me greatly, because about 2 years after I in 2 years into my trading, because 9-10 years ago I was working full time and doing just like most of you guys do. I've covered the story already, but basically, working, just spinning the wheels, burning, midnight oil and things like that. Just getting tired. I wanted something that would give me a means of financial freedom to where I can have my own control of my own life and make my own hours and be able to make money at my own leisure and all that stuff, how that goes. Okay, so yes, I did make a change in my own life, and trading was the most impactful thing that changed my life. And it wasn't until about after 2 years after I started trading to where I just like most of you guys probably have tried this strategy, bought this indicator, tried this strategy, and nothing seemed to work. It may work for a little while, then it stopped working, and it wasn't until I fully understood the market in regards to understanding market structure and understanding price action and the way the market moves, and waiting pretty much for areas where the market will pull back to those areas. And that's why I use the volume profile, because it helps me like a GPS, kind of guides me. And when I'm looking for a zone or a level on my chart, I can switch up. I can just glance over at the volume profile and see if the level that is in an area where I'm interested in possibly, stalking or taking trade from once it gets back there. So, you see my chart is naked. It's a 12 range chart. I use a 4 range chart as well. So this is pretty much my monitor here. And I glance over the 1 hour. 1 hour I look at from a higher time frame to kind of give me more of a bias of what the direction the market may be trying to move. But most of the time I'm looking at 12 range. My charts are naked. I don't have anything on here other than the bars or the candlesticks, and these little lines you see here. They don't represent anything other than only when I'm moving them around to mark levels. And then I have the volume profile on the vertical right side of my screen, or monitor, or chart, I should say. So it wasn't until I learned the pullback strategy pretty much until things started clicking in my mind and started becoming successful. And basically all you're looking for is for the market to, pull back to an area, a significant area or structure to where lots of buying or selling took place, and looking for the rejection. That's pretty much all it is, guys. I mean, like when the market was pulling up here, swinging to the upside, it had a significant sell-off, pullback here, right? Some selling took place, followed up by a lot of buying, right? So the market pushed up. On the way back down, when it swung back, okay, it broke structure here, okay? So then when the market turns back around, pushes higher, when it broke structure to the downside, this is resistance right here, okay? This is resistance, all right? Not only is it resistance, but it's an area of supply. So when price comes back to it, there could be possibly an opportunity to take a short, right? But when it blasts through this area right here and pushes to the upside, what does resistance become? It becomes support, right? So at that point, when price breaks resistance, okay, here, pushing up, you can look for a pullback, right? Okay, so let's go through that again. Price pushes up, pulls back. Pushes up, what does it do? It pulls back. But what does it do on the pullback? It breaks structure right here. This is called following market structure, okay? It breaks structure right here, all right? So when it breaks structure on the way down, it turns back around, right? And on its way back up, we have resistance now. Resistance is also an area of supply, and we want to see price pull into that area of supply pretty much. That's what I pretty much do, is trade based on primarily, I want to see price on pullbacks pull to an area of supply and demand, because that's where you're going to get the greatest opportunity to be actually trade from, the most impactful opportunity to trade from, because like this push down, which broke structure here, what did it do? It created lots of opportunity, lots of selling took place here, right? So when price goes back, pushes back or returns back to that area right there where that supply is sitting at, it's just an area to where selling can take place again. I'm not saying that it will be lots of selling or a great opportunity to get into to where you can make a lot of money or get a big bang for your buck. But that's the part about short-term trading, and I'm a scalper, so I'm looking for a quick opportunity on a pullback to supply, say for instance, if the market shows a rejection. Now, if it breaks through this area, which is resistance, breaks through this area of supply, back to the upside, what does supply become? Supply becomes an area of, or the resistance area here also becomes an area of support. So price swinging to the upside. When price returns back to this area here, what am I looking for at that time? Well, I'm looking for an area to possibly take a loan from, right? So if we look I'm going to use a rectangle here. For an area, okay, okay. So price pushes up, returns back to an area, right? Okay. So when price pushes up, breaks through this area of supply, area of resistance here, and then if it comes back to this area, okay, somewhere in here, actually price could probably come all the way back down to here, okay? But if we get rejection, you know, on the pullback, it may not come all the way back down here because now this right here, this has become demand. If price can get back to that area, and it does eventually, it comes back down here, okay? But at this moment, as price is breaking higher, breaking through this area of resistance and this area of supply, it breaks through it. Now we got support sitting here, okay? Now price can reject anywhere in here, okay, on the pullback. And it does. It comes back, pulls back right here. Now at this opportunity, where does the market, you know, where does it lie at? If you look across at your volume profile, it sits below the high volume area. And I always want to take a trade from the lower end of a high volume area because price likes to trade back to the mean or above the high volume area, you know, when it pulls back, okay? So what I want to see at this moment here, this is the strategy I use based on looking for pullbacks in the market once price breaks through structure and returns back to that area of structure, okay? Now, even within these areas here, as it moves to the upside, you have little swings, right? Little swings. Higher high, high low, higher high, high low, higher high, high low. So what I'm looking for is for price to come back, okay, to the lower end of one of these swings, okay? Now it does. It comes back to the lower end of this swing here, okay? So when it rejects out of this little swing here on the pullback, okay, I need to see price push higher, break back above this area here and back above that area which was resistance, now support, break back above that area. Once price does that, then we can actually go long. We can look for the opportunity to go long, but in the long, we would take it to pretty much to the top end of this high right here. So that's the pullback strategy that I use. It's a simple strategy. I've been using it for years. You know, following after 2 years of me trading in the market, well, not trading the market, but actually learning 9-10 years ago. It took me 2 years to kind of start becoming profitable. Once I understood this, and first of all, I understood market structure. Then I understood I had to start. I really started learning about supply and demand because that's a big component of trading. Because those are the most impactful areas to trade from. You know, because you could basically, like right here, when price broke up here, right, pushed higher, it broke that area of resistance there. What does it do? It returns right to this area here, which is support right here, right, out of the swing. It bounces there, right? But what happens right here when you see that when price returns right back to the opening of this swing, which is support now, it bounces. You know, that's liquidity forming right there. So when liquidity forms right here, the institutions, they're, you know, even if they get a little bounce here, they're gonna push the market right back down to stop traders out because they know traders are putting their stops right there below this area where they're taking a trade or a bounce off of the area of support. Okay, all right. So that's how the institutions kind of work. So you want to look for the greater opportunity of a move on a pullback into the lower portion of the swing. And once it rejects at the lower portion of the swing, breaks back above the swing, the mouth of the swing, I call it, you know, back above it, okay? You look for that opportunity to go long, okay? So that's pullback trading in what I call it, pullback trading in a nutshell, pretty much, okay? But that's the correct way of learning how to trade, guys. I mean, it's looking for areas of support and resistance and identifying those supply and demand zones within there. But you've got to be able to understand, you got to be able to know powerful structures, areas in the market to where the probability of trading at certain swing levels are greater than others, meaning you got better opportunity to trade within that particular area. Like here, this is a good area. Why is that a good area? If you watched a couple videos ago, 1, 2, 3 videos ago, I talk about, you know, powerful structures in the market, looking for those areas. And all they are is areas in the market where if price is pushing higher, there's a significant pullback. Significant pullback followed by lots of buying. So naturally speaking, when price returns back to that area, that swing area right here, it's going to reject at some point. At some area, it's going to reject out of. Okay, now I said price could actually push lower, right? It could have pushed lower. It came back in a lower area here, and it does. If you look, when price pushes higher, what does it do when it pulls back eventually? When it starts really selling off, it comes back to the lower portion of this bigger swing to the upside, right? Which this is a great area of demand right here, and you can definitely look for something to happen out of this particular area right here. Okay. When price pulls back to it, what does it do? It rejects completely out of that area and pushes higher, okay? So that's what I do each and every day, is looking for areas or pullbacks. I use what's pullback strategy trading. That's all. To me, that's all it is. Waiting for price to break structure, okay? Break structure, and then looking for pullbacks to those areas, okay? And I'm really looking for areas to where, you know, price broke structure and then pretty much broke structure again. So like right here, price pushed up, pulled back, pushed higher, right? It broke structure on the way up, right? But on the way back down, what did it do? It broke structure here, right? So at that point, when it breaks structure right here, I already know demand setting up right here if it rejects out of this area. But we already have an area of supply now, because this right here was what broke structure on the way down. Then it turns back around, break structure back to the upside. I mean, it broke this structure here, it broke through this area of resistance. Now we've got demand sitting down here. So it broke structure to the upside, broke structure to the downside, and boom, break structure back to the upside right here, breaking through this area of resistance. So you want to look for those powerful areas where price is breaking structure. This right here on the way up, price pushed up, pull back, breaking structure. Okay, when it broke structure, we created resistance right here. Now, price breaks through this area of resistance to the upside. I know that when price comes back to it, we've got a great opportunity, because there's a lot of selling to place, followed by a lot of buying. So when I see this great dip here, push up, breaking through this area of resistance, and then on a pullback, I know that this is going to be a good area to possibly, what I call a high probability trade area to look for rejection out of. And that's what I did on, say for instance, on this pullback right here. And then when price came back down here to the lower end of the demand area. Guys, that's simply what it is. It is what it is. And that's how trading changed my life, because once I figured out the high probability areas where I could trade from, it changed. It was a game changer for me. I went from, like most people do, yes, I blew my account before and I was in the red, and then eventually I started staying in the green. And the key to it is never have a losing day. You're going to have a losing trades, yes you are. But the key to that is getting out before you take a greater loss. And setting a stop up. And me, typically, I have a stop in mind. It's hard to, okay, I'm explaining. I'll show it to you. Like when I took this trade, if I take this trade here on a pullback, right, okay, and I'm looking for rejection possibly out of this area right here, okay, this little swing right here, okay, where is my stop going to be if I take this trade with prices rejecting right here, okay? If price is rejecting out of this area right here, right, okay, my stop is going to be right below this area here. If price is rejecting right here and then it starts to move and I get into a trade, my stop is below this area right here, okay? So typically I use maybe a 12-tick stop loss, whatever the case is, all right? But that's just, it depends on, the area pretty much. But on average, about 12 ticks, okay? And that's typically, what's that? That's 3 points in the ES, say for instance, because every 4 ticks is 1 point on the ES. All right, so prices right now pulling back, right? It's rejecting supply, okay? So rejecting resistance at this area here, okay? Boom, rejecting that area. All right, it's pulling back, okay? Now let's see. Could it bounce in this area? Yes, but we want to see price pull back to below this high volume area. Always, if you're looking for a long, take a long on the pullback below the high volume area, not the top end of it. You always say buy the high, buy the lows, sell the highs, right? Okay, so let's see. Sorry, trying to look here at my screen. Okay, so right now I would be probably interested in buying, unless I see some significant significant buying rejection in this area right here. But really, I want to see it. I would prefer to see it come back lower. Okay, But that's pretty much, that's the strategy that I use each and every day. And how, if you use it, it would be a game changer for you. It was a game changer for me. That's how it changed my life, turned things around, my trading view of, and my whole perspective about trading. Because once I was able to put a solid strategy in place in my trading plan, guys, my whole trading venture changed course, and I started selling the right course. Okay. Um, hmm, okay. So we'll see what happens here. I'm not sure. But that's what I want to do with this video here, was just um, talk about how to, you know, how this particular strategy, pullback strategy that I use, the particular strategy I use, how it actually changed the course of my trading career. I went from being in the red to making money every single day. And you guys can do the absolute same thing. I promise you that. So yes, we got a pretty good pullback here, but I don't know what the market's going to do. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Yeah, just be careful. Price is wedging, guys. It's wedging. It's not breaking any highs or breaking any lows. We're just in a wedge right now, moving sideways. Um, got a little volume area right here. Um, maybe on a pullback, the price comes back above this area right here. We'll see. I'm not sure. Okay, I am short. Um, okay, just for a point on two contracts right there. Price coming back down to the lows right here. So I took a short. Price came back to this area right here, rejected. So I went short, guys. All right. All right. Price moving sideways right here. Um, yeah, this was could have been a little long right here. I didn't pay attention, but that's trading little micro swings. Um, Okay. All right. So price is bouncing on this area. I mentioned that, this is an area that your price can bounce out of, guys. Um, so now it appears to be trying to break back to the upside. We'll see what it does here. So let's see. Still pushing higher. So it's breaking back through structure right here. The push on the swing down. And be careful here. All right. Okay. This could just be a pullback right here. This could be a pullback in the market push lower. So have to be careful at this point. Oh yeah. So this was a short. I missed it. Okay. That was a short opportunity. Okay. So price pulled back into this swing right here. All right. So that was a short opportunity. I missed it. That's okay. Not gonna catch them all. Okay. So the market's pulled down to this area right here, or lower portion of the high volume area. But we are moving sideways. So be careful. Let's see. Hmm. Yeah, so that was a short there. Price pulling back. We're in a wedge, guys. Wedging, and yeah, we're just wedging. We're in a wedge right now, so gotta be careful trading around this things like this. Building volume. Price is really not showing clear direction, and yeah. Ah, it's going short. Just scalping. Uh, yeah, scalping this area. 1150. Okay. Just quickly scalp in this area. Let's see. Come on. Look for it come down to 1150, but it can bounce here where it just bounced at. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take profit here if we can get it. Yeah, come on. See it bouncing. All right, I'm gonna take this out, guys. It is bouncing right there at it. All right. We'll go ahead and get out of this little trade here because we just not much room to trade in between. We can bounce right here. Okay. Yeah, I came back down there. See, I would have got filled there. Just a little scalp, not much. Yep, it hit that area. Okay. So the market, what it did on the way down, it broke back through this area. There's a structure right here. And then on return, retracing back, you can look for a little short. Okay, we're coming back down to an area, back down to a little portion of this high volume area. And we could possibly be looking for, let's see, price projected out of this area here. We can look for something in this area here where price pretty much rejected this area right here. Something can happen right here in this area. So let's be careful and mindful of what took place earlier here. All right, let's see here. I'm looking at my 4 range. Let's see. Price is pushing lower. Okay, so it didn't. All right, let's see. Hmm. All right, price is trying to break higher. It looks like not yet. This right here is this right here is demand, guys. This is what price is rejecting out of. So, okay. Price breaks this area, I'll be more likely going long here. Okay, I'm long. Okay, first contract's filled. We'll go ahead and get filled in the second one here. Okay, second contract's filled. And then we can test this area right here at 47.09, okay? So price probably more likely may come here at 47.09. It could bounce in this area right here because we're in a low volume area above the top volume node. But you can see price, the structure of the market is to the upside here. And like when price pulled back, it pulled back to an area. This was demand right here. So it pushed up here, couldn't take out resistance right here, so it pulls back to this area demand again. So yeah, so we're at 47.08.5 right now. So like I said, it could bounce in this area, but we're moving sideways. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me today. I'm just going to go ahead. You guys are probably watching this already. Close this video out and get it uploaded. But yeah, that's just want to show a couple little trades there, followed up by, or my conversation or topic about, how this particular strategy I use, how it can change your life, how it changed my life. All right, guys, if you're trading, be safe. See you in the next video, and that's going to do it.